you in danger. Right now I got a flame here. This is GBP roast. GBP roast on your Google business profile. It's about to go down. We roasting and reacting. We ain't come to play. 20 years in SEO. JP, Lambo, and Dre bringing facts and guests. Oh yeah, we bring the dopeness. Welcome to the show. Hope your profile don't get roasted.
Oh yeah, guys, did you get everything you wanted for Christmas?
I did. Bought myself a couple little toys too.
Yeah, I pretty much when Black Friday is usually my Christmas, because that's when I'll just go spend crazy, whether it's on myself or for family, and just to get that write-off right before the end of the year.
Still waiting for my gift from Keith though. Keith's promising.
Oh, it's right here. Sorry, I'll
there
ship
you
it to you.
Oh, I got a pink. I thought it was a pink slip. That's a green slip.
I just got some snowman poop this year. No coal, but it'll be fine.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
you got snow up there.
Yeah, we don't get snow up here. I mean, we'll see snow in the mountains right now, Mount Diablo, right?
Not Diablo every once in a while.
Yeah, we'll see some snow like far away, but we can't touch it. All right, guys, let me go ahead and pick up our very first reaction video for today. Let's check this out.
You should be posting really are trying to capture offers, because if you think about where the customer is at in their journey, they are looking to hire someone. They have a problem, they're looking to hire someone. So they're at the very, very, very bottom of the funnel. And when they're at the bottom of the funnel, we're just trying to get them to pick up the phone or book online. That's all we want them to do. So we try to make sure that those things are taken care of. So the things that help them make a decision: discounts, coupons, offers, things like that. Great photos. Maybe there's something that's relevant to them outside of that. You can see how these offer posts show up on these listings when you get this stuff right.
So I know
Depends on the
JP,
category. Yeah.
Well, JP, you mentioned like you're not really a fan of posts.
I don't do posts. There's so many other things you could be doing with your spare time than writing a post or sketching those out. Even though there is software that you can schedule them out, weeks in advance. But to me, there's other things that you can be spending your time on. A lot of users don't even read those posts, don't even see them. So it's not going to be really advantageous for you to be worrying about, oh my God, I didn't do a post about my offer today. You're better off by spending the time to get people engaging with your business. And the most important thing as a local business, especially for your home services, is getting a phone call. That's it. So posts aren't a huge ranking factor. Like he said in that video, it's not for ranking, it's for people engaging. And a lot of people don't even see the post on your Google business.
One sneaky thing to do is when you write up your little post, and of course, you probably will have the call now button or maybe a link to learn more. Take your actual link and drop it into the description. It may get read and likely to index that page. So if you maybe have a new blog or a new article, right, because you're helping the user, that's one little sneak way to try to get that out there and eyes on it, plus getting indexed for the old googly bear.
Got it. All right, let's check out the next video.
Are you embedding the wrong map on your site? This could be killing your Google Maps ranking. Embedding the city map or address map instead of your Google My Business map is a big mistake. You can fix it by going to your Google My Business dashboard, getting the embed code, and putting it on your website. It's simple, but it makes a big difference in your rankings.
All right, Google embedding. Yeah.
He was screaming and talking so fast. I'm not.
Nah, he's a solid dude. I know the guy. But yeah, I mean, he's right. If you're gonna be, sharing your Google business or embedding it, I see so many times people embed a Google map that's. If you're gonna embed something on your site, it might as well be your business. People don't need to see a map, where you're at. It's
I think what happens is many times the web designer or the agency made the site, and what did they do? They not even have the GBP up, or it's being activated possibly, or they're like, well, what's the address? So they just go and put the address and embed that, which not going to help you at all.
Yeah.
Got it. So when you embed things, there's guesses you can pick it when you search the maps, and you can pick one when you click on profile. So you just want to make sure you click on the profile one and embed that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to show a map, you might as well just take a screenshot of the map and then have it link out to your Google business. Don't just embed just a random city map. It's not
Okay.
gonna it's not gonna be helpful.
Got it. All right. Let's check out our last video.
Google does not generally show businesses outside of the target city unless there are very few results. So if your business location is not inside the city limits of the city you're targeting, you should try to get there. That doesn't mean you have to move. Google says you can use a co-working or virtual office as your business location, as long as the location is staffed during business hours.
No,
so find a
don't do it.
co-working spot or a house you use as an office within the city limits and make that your listing address.
Oh,
Don't
no,
do that. You're
really?
gonna, even though that says it in the terms, you have to have someone there. They very, very strict on using virtual offices. It's in their terms of service, but I wouldn't even bother even trying to get a virtual office. If you really need to get a listing in another location, reach out to someone that and register a business in that city. So you can say, ABC company of city. You have to do it the right way. Using the virtual office, you're probably going to get suspended. You might get away with it for a short period of time, but eventually you're going to get taken down, and appeals are really hard to get back up. So I wouldn't bother.
So I'm curious about this one too, because I've got one where my business got suspended in Las Vegas because I have an office in Las Vegas, and that one got suspended after a while. But I was saying to create an office for my business again here in the Bay Area, where I'm like in the Napa Valley area, but I'm not necessarily in Napa, so I was trying to get a should I just use my home address and then should I was gonna do a co-location spot in like the Napa area, but yeah, so now I mean
you might get away with it for a little time, but eventually it'll probably get flagged because Google they filter Google business listings several times a year. One big time they do it at the end of the year. Well, they'll basically just filter everything. They'll scan businesses using like PO boxes or UPS stores or virtual offices, and they'll just flag them all. So it's really, for me, it's about risk tolerance.
I'm thinking like even if they're smaller, because like let's say like a WeWork may be huge, so like a lot of people may be using those or whatever. But like how about if it's like a smaller company? Because like the one I use in Las Vegas is a company that sells it as a business, so I can see why it got probably flagged.
Yeah.
But it's really small.
There are independent ones that you could probably definitely get away with it. That kind of like they just offer that service. But if you go after the big ones like Regis or like Cloud VO or things like that, a lot of those big guys are all sharing the same address anyways. And so you may have 5 virtual office providers all sharing the same address. So that's kind of a big red flag. You can get lucky and find some independent ones that are kind of one name type of brand and offer those. So you may get lucky and find a virtual office like that.
Let me rephrase
One of
that.
the risks you really have to weigh is, do your competitors have offices and they're likely to have an in-person appointment? So you're an attorney. You just newly graduated, or you want to set off on your own, and you can't afford downtown, but that's where the big boys are at. So your office that's further away might have challenges, even though you might, let's say you're a criminal attorney or work in real estate, you might go see the client. And of course, with COVID, we learned so much we can do virtual, right? But there's so many users that will do directions, physically get out of their car, go to the building, go in, and that's one of the risks. So if you're a plumber or HVAC or selling a service where you go to them, it's less risky to try to use something virtual because people aren't really coming to your showroom as such to see products. You go to them. So just be aware of your competitors. If they're really seeing people in person, you're probably going to get busted with your fake office.
Okay, wait a bit. I mean, we need to rephrase this. How about if it's like an actual co-location office space? Because I mean, let's say like I do want an office. What would I get dinged because it's an actual office I can go into that's shared?
If you can, you'll have to have vinyl and public print it on the window, or get something made, put it on the wall. Open the keys, walk in. Access your door with, Suite 101. If you can really prove, hey, this is my office, great. You should be fine.
A lot of times too, these virtual offices will offer you like a lobby listing. So if it's a big commercial building, you get a lobby listing. It'll say, so you go to the directory, it'll say your business and suite number. Sometimes if you even just spending an extra $20 or whatever they offer a month to get that, that definitely helps.
Okay.
And that's usually enough too, especially if you're doing it, if you're required to do like a video verification for your business. You can walk into the building, show the video of you looking at the lobby listing of your business name, maybe go up the elevator, and that's it. So there's definitely steps that you can take.
All right, cool. Love it, guys. Okay, let's go right into our next segment of the show.
La 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 la, la 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 la, Lambo's World. La 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 la, la 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 la, Lambo's World. Lambo likes conversions and SEO too. That's Lambo's World. Oh, let's share my screen. Do. Lambo's World. Today, boys and girls, we're going to continue with raising that emotion, and we're going to talk about color, right? Color is so powerful because it will add interest, it's going to add that extra energy, and if you overdo it as such, people's eyes are bouncing all over the place. So in this particular example, this is an older version of my homepage for Up Hero. I use a little bit of purple with the button to play the video, and then to bring your eyes down to push that button, right? People like round objects, and the color is just there to get you to interact. Some of the color that you really want to be careful of certainly is, yellows, reds, that high contrast, and highlight what's important, because remember, people aren't going to just read everything. They're only going to see what's big and bright and the bigger font, of course, right? Think about that emotion, right? Yellow just may be more of you have a feeling of a sunny feeling, but also yellow can be a little bit more drab. So just be careful of your colors. Certainly you can tie it into your brand logo, but also note that, let's say, if we look at like a color wheel, you have colors that complement each other. They're opposite. Think of like your favorite sports team, right? The Broncos. Broncos are orange and blue. Notice how that they are opposite on the color wheel. Let's say if you might be a landscaper, you're using a lot of different green. Now you look on the color wheel and you're like, oh, it's green and red. It's Santa Claus time. So that's one of the dangers. One thing you can consider, here's an example of a landscaper where the red is the button, and you notice where the green is at, the green is really in the colors in the images. So it works better, or works well in this kind of synergy in using colors. Cool.
Love it.
Let's zoom in here, and whoa, crap, no, don't go back. Oh, sorry. What I wanted to do is I wanted to zoom in on taking a closer look at all of these layouts are all the same, right? And if you notice though, just having the different colors to either match your logo or match that energy, right? Where you want to draw people's eye to then get the conversion. Just remember, you don't need a rainbow of colors all over the place. You just need a couple of them to complement each other, and using your color theory and being opposite on the color wheel or even next to each other, analogous or even monotone, that can certainly help you a lot more. Just as Lambo says, be careful with your color. That's it for today, kids. La 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 la, la 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 la, Lambo's World, Lambo's World.
All right.
La 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 la.
All right, let's check it out.
Yeah, we're going to play some GMBs right now. How we doing?
What's in store for us for your tech stack today, JP?
All right. So today we're going to be going over intent when we're writing our content. We're going to be going after a home service category. One of my old classic favorites, garage door repair. And we're going to be using a little tool that basically it checks different scores for actually looking at the intent behind the words that you use. So I wanted to kind of share with you real quickly just kind of a little history of Google and their algorithms. Many years ago, back in the old ages of Google search, which was only about 10 years ago, which is still very long in our industry. They use an algorithm called TF-IDF, which is term frequency inverse document frequency. So basically what that means is Google's algorithm was based on, as long as you have the, exact phrase match, garage door repair, Kansas City, and as long as you had those words on the page, then that's what's actually was going to give you a boost initially in ranking on Google search. A lot of things have changed since then. They actually use a little bit of a different type of algorithm now called vector embedding, which basically it calculates mathematical scores of what the actual intent is behind the actual words that you use. So imagine there's billions of combinations of words and phrases in the English language, and Google's trying to disambiguate what some of those terms may mean. One thing that I like to use as an example is something called, let me go ahead and pull this up. So this is just a little similarity score, and basically what this does is it gives you a calculation mathematical score based on what the intent is behind the actual words that you use. So this is really important because when you're writing your content, if we're trying to do garage door repair Kansas City, now it's super important because one thing you'll notice about Kansas City, let me actually pull up a map. And I want to see if you guys notice something about Kansas City. And even out in the audience, if you guys are watching, do you notice anything about this map of Kansas City?
There's a bunch of Kansas Cities. It says North Kansas City.
It definitely divided right down the middle, right? I mean, straight line. I'm assuming that's the, is that the state line?
So this is a state line. So if we scroll out or zoom out, we have Kansas and Missouri. Yeah. Well, Kansas City is actually a split city. There's a Kansas City, Kansas, and there's a Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, and that's why when they'd have the beer commercials or they talk about stuff, they'd always say Kansas City, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas.
So super important, a big thing when you're writing your content. Now, a lot of the basis around Kansas City, a lot of people and even Google recognizes it as being Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Kansas is more of a kind of a secondary, even though a good majority of the population is actually split into Kansas City, Kansas. So super important when you're writing your content that you also are able to decide if it's something that you want to push for just particular state level, or if you just want to actually cover the entire Kansas City as a whole, assuming it's Kansas and also Missouri. Mm-hmm. For something like garage door repair, Kansas City, if we actually took one of the ranking pages on here, I just picked the random site here. It's teamtaylordoors.com. If you look there, they're actually, if we did Kansas City, their main actual page for Kansas City is actually Kansas City, Kansas. So it's important that, so if we were to take all the content here, put it into our little score here. So we did door repair, excuse me, let's do garage door.
I was just looking for Kansas City ribs. That's what I was looking
Kansas
for.
City ribs, yeah,
Yeah.
big barbecue place.
Wait, which one, Missouri or Kansas?
Actually, the whole good Midwest. Actually, well, Missouri, there's some really good barbecue places on the Missouri side. So we have a score here of 0.6465. So what that means is that's a pretty high score considering. What that is it's taken all the content on the page and it's given us a score of how closely related that content is to our main keyword and phrase here. Now, obviously, we're not going to be writing just the phrase on our pages, but if we were to type in garage door repair Kansas City, of course, we should be getting an exact 100% score. So what this means is when you're writing your content, you're writing for two groups of people. You're writing for a computer, an algorithm, and you're also writing for a user. So the part that gets a little tricky is, well, now how do you combine the two? So things that you want to do is being able to define what the query, your main query would be, garage door Kansas City. Write it in a way where at least you can talk about garage door a little bit. Again, you don't necessarily even need to have garage door repair or Kansas City on the page, although it is helpful. But you're also writing that's going to help users engage with your site. A lot of times when users reach this web page, they're probably not going to be reading a ton of information on here. So a lot of the content that a lot of these people write for, these are writing for Googlebot. But if we come to this page, a normal user, what's the first thing that's going to get your eye drawn to? It's something that Lambo goes over all the time. It's about CRO. So when we land on this page, the first thing we look at, get a free estimate. There's a form fill. Look, there's 5-star Google reviews. But where can I read those reviews? More than likely, a user is not going to be reading all this content. They're just not.
Too much. But
too much.
Oh, look at that. They have.
Look at all the red.
All the red here.
Are they linking to their Google Business profile with that, or is this from what you were talking about last week? But linking. If you click on Milton,
say that again.
Remember how last week we were talking about how you were linking to directions from what you offered? What happens when you click on one of those?
So this will more than likely this is probably going to a page. So this is going to the actual page.
Yeah, it's going to an actual.
Is it misleading? Does it say locations or does it say, what does it say at the top? What I was wondering.
So on the URL, this is Kansas City, Kansas. This is just, they're basically showing all the cities that they service.
Right. They're using the map bubble to kind of get you in the map frame of mind.
Hey, by the way, we service these areas.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to want, as a business owner, you're not going to want to put driving directions because when you're a garage door company, people don't come to you, you go to them, right?
You're right. Yep.
So, again, this is something that's, you have to be really conscientious of when you're writing your content. Again, you're kind of writing for two people. You're writing for a computer and you're writing for a user. And you have to find a way to combine the two. So it's important that you use something where you can get the intent correct for Google while also writing engaging content, having a good overall layout for a user. So the most important thing is, as business owners, what do we want? We want the lead. We want the phone call. We want the form fill, right?
Yeah.
So use your conversions as your way to draw users to these, conversion points. You're writing for Googlebot. You're converting for users.
If your tech tool that you have there, so let's say you put, if you were going to write on a page, you would probably say garage door repair in Kansas City. Would that change the similarity score?
It would change the similarity score. So,
but not by much.
Not by much.
Okay.
Because even Google will look at those as, just like stop words or just the little in between. They don't really mean anything, right?
Okay.
They're just.
Okay. So you can basically still rank.
It's more about entities, right? Which we talk about the verb and the nouns and those things that really, either you're going to motivate someone to do something, or it's related to that
Yeah.
people, person, or place, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think it's time. It's time. It's time to get roasted. All right, guys, let's check out who has to pull the first roasting GBP profile.
All right, let me.
Okay, JP will go up. Okay, first let's check.
And actually, I actually picked it. We actually had a one coming in for a garage door company in Kansas City, believe it or not. So this is perfect.
All right.
So let me
Let's
ahead and
go.
share this.
Roast it. Roast it.
All right. So the company is ABC Garage Doors. They are a garage door repair company in Kansas City. Now you'll notice, of course, the things that I went over earlier. You'll notice that half of the listings are actually on the Kansas side, half of them are on the Missouri side. Okay. Now a lot of the and this is going to be one of those scenarios where it may be advantageous for you to put the city name in your title. Normally, in normal circumstances, I would tell you to use your brand name. But this is one of those scenarios where putting the city in your business name is definitely going to help you, because a garage door company, it's highly competitive. There's going to be a lot of other companies in that area, and this is one of those examples where having Kansas City, because it's split between Kansas, between two states, it's definitely going to help you in the long run. You'll notice too that a lot of companies, a lot of these listings are some of them are actually pretty far outside of the area. You got some companies that are kind of on the south side and the north side. Google is really smart when it comes to what businesses or what consumers are willing to do. Consumers are willing to call a company, if they're a reputable company that's 45 minutes away, if they live down here. That's they don't mind calling a company, because this is a service company. These guys have service trucks. They're coming out to you. So keep that in mind, that for whatever type of business you are, you may see some of these larger proximity signals, larger radiuses when it comes to things like home services, and garage door being one of them. Now, a lot of the guys here, they have tons of reviews. Reviews is definitely, it's not necessarily a make it or break it, but it's going to have to be one of those things you are going to have to compete with some of these big guys. These companies, these are overhead door company. They're a huge brand. Precision Door, they're a huge brand. They actually provide franchise opportunities. So you're competing against some pretty big guys here. A1 Garage Door, another pretty big company. The biggest thing for me here is, now, yes, they have 5-star reviews, but this is going to be one of those things where you're going to have to really dial down your engagement and using everything at your disposal, kind of like we talked about in last week's episode. Kind of going over some of those different tricks that you can do to get, not necessarily driving directions, but ways to redirect them to your Google business profile. A big one too is when it comes to a lot of these home services, branding is a huge one. If we go back to search here, and we looked at garage door repair Kansas City, go ahead and refresh the search here. A lot of the businesses you're going to see, they'll be not necessarily in this query, but you'll see some local service ads. We want to scroll down here. Let's see here. There's a lot of, it doesn't necessarily show up on this query, but notice a lot of times too, it'll say forum and community. So this is one of those things that I like to call brand gossip. And what that basically is you want other places that are going to be talking about your business. So that could be things like Reddit, like Quora, other forums. Citations can be great, especially ones that have reviews, have the ability to leave reviews. So going back to things like Yellow Pages and Foursquare. If we looked at this business, I haven't looked to see if they have much branding done. If we look at ABC Garage Doors, let me take a look at the profile here. One moment.
You make a great point, JP, about being found and having just the mentions, right? And so many times SEOs, was really big, you know, in the last, 5+ years ago, where everyone would look at and use a tool and analyze your competitor. And then they'd say, oh, you need to get the same links, be in the same places. I am totally against that. I would rather be in new places and websites that Google is more likely to trust rather than being in the same places where your competitors are. By being different, getting those right signals, that's definitely going to help you.
See, this is kind of a good example too. They are getting some reviews. When you see these reviews from around the web, Google's pulling this information from those other locations. So it's good that they're listed on things like Angie's List and Facebook. You can grow that even more. So this is basically a perfect example of what I call brand gossip. Now the only thing is that these guys are pretty far outside the central location, and they are competing against some pretty big guys. Precision Door, they're pretty dead center in Kansas City. Precision even has another brand. So there's a lot of things going into this that you're going to really have to push, especially it still is going to be getting more reviews. You still need to get more traffic. There's lots of different ways that you can get traffic through paid ads, things like that. But it's really going to come down to a lot of branding here, getting people talking about your business and other sites besides just Google.
Did they have any photos?
Go back to.
Is it just that one photo? I mean,
yeah, they just had the one.
What's interesting, they are aggressively pacing with reviews like almost every day, which that's awesome. I'm kind of suspicious that some of them might not be all legit, but pacing is a ranking factor, right? Getting reviews, legit reviews, really beg, borrow, steal. You've got every person who interacts with your brand, get them to leave an opinion of some sort.
Yeah, and the next thing, I haven't even looked at the site yet, but the site
looks pretty clean.
Definitely
extremely competitive. I'm looking at I'm in their neighborhoods and in their areas, and there are companies that have less reviews doing better than them.
Oh.
I really think that what's happening is, they may not have legit signals. They would be better off just taking realtor signs and just put them out in four-way stops and roundabouts. Get the brand engagement on the ABC so that people are searching that and they think, oh yeah, ABC for garage door repair.
Got it. Great tips there. Love that. Keith, did you have GBP for us to roast?
Well, since we're going to be celebrating it's a new year. It's same me, but new year, right? We're going to celebrate. And since I have, we're going to engage here with some fire, I might as well do some fireworks.
Oh, man. I love fireworks.
Out here in crazy Idaho, of course, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. You just walk around with swords if you want, right? Yeah. So, yes, fireworks are sold out here, not on the reservation. So let's go take a look at some fireworks near me and have a little bit of fun with, what's going on, what is up with the fireworks. One thing that I noticed here, and I did this search a little bit ago, and I think I might want to just refresh it, but the first thing that pops out is, okay, we got two brands in position A and then position C, and look at the amount of reviews that Rocky Mountain has. And you're like, whoa, why are they not in first position, right?
Dominating.
So we can go look at their website to see if that's holding them back. But what do you notice on the page here? And I think this might be the reason why. Let me get little Lambo's marker.
They got two locations, two actual real locations.
I think that this right here, because they're closing soon, is probably putting them in the second position. I would imagine that maybe if it was noon or earlier in the day. We've talked about this. If you have expanded hours, you're going to be seen more. but make sure it's legit, right?
Let's see. Wait, but are those two actual different locations? They are two different locations, two actual physical locations.
Yeah.
You guys can buy fireworks out there any time of the year?
Yes, you can.
That must be fun.
Crazy. I was in Utah one day and I was at the grocery store and it was during the 4th of July time. They had fireworks right in the grocery store. I couldn't believe it, right? Ugh, that's all right. But yes, let's go take a look at Rocky Mountain just quickly and see, is there something going on here that might be holding them back from the on-page portion, right? Oh, I see it already. Right away in the title, oh, this is our home, Rocky Mountain Fireworks, right?
Yeah.
Someone was smart enough to do one H1 and then pound the H2s, but this particular fireworks seller, they also do a variety of other things. They do fur, and it's just clearly this is a site that is 10 years or older. Are they selling stuff online? They have verified down below, right? But from a local presence, this is their only store. So by putting the city in some of the headlines, or at least in that H1 and in the title, that definitely would help push them. Oops.
What was the H1?
Would help them.
Are you just talking about that
push
little
them more into the map.
animation thing that's going on there? Is that the H1? Is that?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Well, Rocky, we could go in and take a look at it. I don't think it is. Oh, yeah.
It's a CSS stuff. Is it?
Hey, come on, it's Idaho. It's fine. Everything's fine. Great place. They do sell some awesome fireworks. One thing that's funny is if you actually go look at some of the reviews for Rocky Mountain, people will complain about the smell. And you're like, the sulfur, right? And you're like, no, they complain because of the fur hides and the skunk smell and whatever they're doing. There's a lot of comments about smell, right? So that's one thing that's interesting, that you're like, okay, maybe fur and fireworks, maybe this doesn't necessarily go together that well, right? It works for them. They're long, well established, but as a brand new business, certainly the other gentleman who was doing, I have my, let's just go back here to fireworks near me.
I just saw something.
Discount Fireworks is more on the ball, right? They're branded. They got the superstore as such. We can go take a look. Look at nice photos, good information. Clearly, that is the only thing they do. Great ratings. Let's go take a look at their site a second. Come on, baby.
So are you not allowed to show pictures of fireworks on your site? Because going back to the Rocky Mountain, it's just like trap tools, bait traps, and there's nothing that even shows there's not even a picture of a firework.
Discount Fireworks is obviously, you can tell this is designed to get a 10-year-old super excited, right? Like, this is like Xbox Live. I should be shooting zombies and going crazy and stealing cars, virtual, right? But this is certainly what you would expect as an oh, look, they even have these videos, right? This is awesome. Mm-hmm. Showing exactly
but 2019
stuff in action, right? Well, yeah. I mean, come on. What do you expect?
We thought we were supposed to have some fresh content for Google, right?
But when you don't have competition,
Yeah.
right? Maybe you don't need 100 of reviews. If there's just, you only need to be as good or better than the guy who's ahead of you, right? Yeah. That's that minimum viable SEO. And some of them are doing it right. I would imagine Discount Fireworks, they probably do a pretty good job, my guess is, on the social side. I do not see those links, and I do not know if it was in.
I would not buy from Rocky Mountain though. Even though they have 600 reviews, I would not go there.
But if you go back to their reviews, I was curious because I saw this when you pulled this up. Like
on Rocky Mountain
from like Local Guide. Is it Local Guide like
on the Rocky Mountain? Is that what you were interested in?
Yeah, Local Guide. See, that's Alice Walker. She's like a local guide. Would like reviews from like those type of people help more? You think, or does it matter?
Certainly should, right?
I mean,
especially, I mean, look at all the key words in here, right? And the positiveness. Then you get the weird. It's an odd combination, but it's still awesome.
So, interesting enough, you mentioned Local Guide. Even though Google doesn't, let's say like a user goes in and signs up to be a local guide versus someone who just starts leaving reviews. Mm-hmm. Google's actually tracking they're tracking their points and the engagement, even though they're not actually registered as a local guide. So that was kind of interesting to see that even you don't even necessarily need to be a local guide to actually have it like count or have it be weighted. Google's still keeping track of it regardless.
Love it. Great reviews.
Especially, let's say if you just love tacos and you went to every taco place in town, they're going to give you a lot of respect, especially if you're taking pictures and everything's about tacos. You're the taco connoisseur. You're going to have a lot of weight. You could probably walk into the new Mexican restaurant and say, "Hey, I'm the Taco King. Have you heard about me?"
Who's that guy with the beach blonde hair? The
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, yeah.
Yeah. All right, that concludes our first episode of the year. Any like a New Year's resolution, guys? Are you guys going to be doing anything new for this 2025?
Rank and bank.
Oh, our local rank and spank.
Oh yeah.
There we go. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you guys
next
week, guys. Happy New Year, guys, everyone.
Hey, GBP roast. GBP roast. Sorry, you in danger. Right now, I gotta flame you. This is GBP roast. GBP roast on your Google business profile. It's about to go down. We roasting and reacting. We ain't come to play. 20 years in SEO. JP, Lambo, and Dre. Bringing facts and guests. Oh, yeah, we bring the dopeness. Welcome to the show. Hope your profile don't get roasted.